Have you ever been deeply hurt by someone? A friend who betrayed your trust? A family member who said something unforgivable? Or maybe a colleague who sabotaged your work? The pain can be overwhelming, leaving you with a mix of anger, sadness, and a desire for payback. It's a heavy burden to carry, and it makes you wonder, what's the right way to handle this? It's a question that has echoed through human history, and it's one that Jesus of Nazareth addressed directly, not just with his words, but with his very life. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're re-diving into a topic that touches all of us: how to deal with people who hurt you. And we're going to look at it through the lens of one of history's most influential figures, Jesus. Regardless of your personal beliefs, the principles Jesus taught about forgiveness and reconciliation offer profound wisdom that can radically change how we navigate our relationships and find peace in the midst of pain. So, grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's explore this together. To understand Jesus' approach, we first need to go to one of his most famous teachings, the Sermon on the Mount. Picture this: a large crowd gathered on a hillside, listening intently as Jesus speaks. He says something that must have sounded completely radical then and now. You have heard that it was said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Let's pause on that for a second. Love your enemies, pray for them. This is the complete opposite of our natural human instinct. When someone hurts us, our first reaction is often to strike back, to get even, to make them feel the same pain they caused us. We want justice, or what we perceive as justice. But Jesus flips this idea on its head. He's not saying we should feel warm and fuzzy about the person who harmed us, or pretend the hurt didn't happen. No, the love he's talking about is an action, a choice. It's about choosing to seek their good, even when they have done you wrong. It's about deciding to release them from the debt of an apology you may never receive, and the pray for them part. That's powerful. Prayer changes our perspective. When you genuinely pray for someone's well-being, it's incredibly difficult to hold on to bitterness towards them. It softens your heart and shifts your focus from your pain to a higher perspective of compassion and grace. It's a spiritual discipline that starts the process of healing within you, whether the other person changes or not. But Jesus didn't just talk the talk, he walked the walk. His entire life was a demonstration of this principle. Think about his interactions. He was constantly criticized, misunderstood, and plotted against by religious leaders who felt threatened by him. They called him names, spread lies about him, and set traps to discredit him. How did he respond? He didn't engage in their petty arguments. He didn't launch a smear campaign against them. Instead, he responded with truth, with wisdom, and often with a challenging question that exposed their own hearts. He kept his focus on his mission, refusing to be derailed by their negativity. This teaches us a crucial lesson. Don't get drawn into the drama. When people hurt you with words or actions, it's often a reflection of their own insecurity, fear, or brokenness. Getting into a mudslinging contest only pulls you down to their level and drains your energy. Jesus modeled a better way. Maintain your integrity, stay true to your purpose, and don't let their bitterness become your own. Now, you might be thinking, that's all well and good, but what about setting boundaries? Am I just supposed to be a doormat? Absolutely not. Jesus' approach is not about passive acceptance of abuse. In fact, he was a master of setting healthy boundaries. When people tried to use him for their own selfish gain, he would often withdraw. When the crowds wanted to force him to be their king for the wrong reasons, he slipped away. There's a powerful story where Jesus' own family, thinking he was out of his mind, came to take him away. He didn't lash out in anger, but he also didn't just go along with them. He drew a boundary, stating that his true family were those who followed God's will. This shows us that loving someone doesn't mean you have to enable their toxic behavior or stay in a harmful situation. It's okay, and often necessary, to create distance to protect your own well-being. Love can sometimes mean saying no, but the ultimate test of Jesus' teaching came at the very end of his life. The betrayal, the false accusations, the public humiliation, the physical agony of the crucifixion. It's the most extreme example of being hurt by others you can possibly imagine. Betrayed by one of his closest friends, Judas, for a handful of silver. denied by another. Peter, out of fear, mocked and beaten by soldiers, cried out for crucifixion by the very crowds he had healed and taught. And what were his final words as he hung there, in unimaginable pain? Did he call down curses on his tormentors? Did he demand vengeance? No. He looked out and said, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." Let that sink in. In the moment of his greatest suffering, his focus was on forgiveness. He wasn't excusing their actions. What they were doing was terribly wrong, but he understood the spiritual blindness and ignorance that fueled their hate. He chose to release them from that debt, to absorb the injustice himself, rather than perpetuate the cycle of retaliation. This is the heart of the matter. Forgiveness is not for the other person. It's for you. Holding on to a grudge is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to get sick. It eats away at you, trapping you in the past and preventing you from moving forward. Forgiveness is the act of setting yourself free. It's cutting the chain that ties you to the person who hurt you. Jesus' story shows us that forgiveness is a process, and it's a choice we make. It starts with the small step of deciding you want to be free from the burden of anger. It continues with actions, like praying for the person, and it culminates in a release of the desire for revenge. It doesn't mean you have to forget what happened, and it certainly doesn't mean you have to reconcile with an unrepentant or unsafe person. Reconciliation requires two willing parties, but forgiveness only requires one. So how do we apply this in our own lives in the 21st century? Let's break it down into practical steps inspired by Jesus' example. First, acknowledge the hurt. Don't suppress it or pretend it didn't happen. Jesus wept. He felt sorrow. He expressed his anguish. Your pain is valid. Allow yourself to feel it, to grieve the wrong that was done to you. Second, make a conscious choice to forgive. This might be a choice you have to make every single day for a while. It's a decision to let go of your right to get even. You can even say it out loud. I choose to forgive person's name. This isn't about feelings. It's an act of your will. Third, change your perspective through prayer or meditation. As Jesus taught, pray for the person who hurt you. Ask for good things for them. This act of empathy will begin to dissolve the bitterness in your heart. You start to see them not just as a monster, but as a flawed human being who's like you. Fourth, set healthy boundaries. Forgiveness does not equal reconciliation. If the person is toxic or abusive, loving them might mean loving them from a distance. Protect your peace. You are not obligated to re-enter a relationship that is destructive to your mental, emotional, or physical health. And finally, focus on your own healing and purpose. Jesus didn't let his detractors distract him from his mission. Don't let the person who hurt you continue to occupy prime real estate in your mind. Reinvest that energy into your own growth, your passions, your relationships, and your purpose. Let your healing be your victory. The path of forgiveness that Jesus laid out is not easy. It's a challenging, counterintuitive road that goes against our every instinct for self-preservation and justice. But it is the path to true freedom and profound peace. It's about taking the highest road, not because the other person deserves it, but because you deserve to be free from the weight of bitterness. The story of Jesus shows us that we have the power to break the cycle of hurt and retaliation, and to respond to the greatest wrongs with the greatest grace. It has a radical love that has the power to heal not only our own hearts, but the world around us. Thank you so much for joining me today for this deep dive. I know this is a heavy topic, but it's such an important one. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. How do you handle it when people hurt you? What part of this message resonated with you the most? Your stories and insights enrich this community, so please share them. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. It really helps us grow and reach more people. Until next time, take care and be kind to yourselves.